What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be working on the back brake on this Honda Rancher 420. Let's get right to it. One of the main things that is going on with this brake is this thing just does not want to move in either direction. It's super stiff. It's stuck. When you pull the front brake in, it doesn't want to move, and then it'll get stuck up, like kind of hung up. And the same thing with the foot brake, which causes this to kind of grind, and you can't push the four-wheeler very well even if it's in neutral after that. So I think what I'm going to try to do is take this drum off and see what's going on in there. But to do that, I would take the wheel off, the hub off, and some of these nuts back here. So we're going to start doing that. Okay, I got the wheel off. One issue I'm right now noticing, this hub is loose. So I believe the splines are probably wore out on this thing. I'll probably have to get new hubs for the rear, which thankfully aren't super expensive, but that's another thing to add to the list. Also, all I'm going to do next is take this cotter pin off since I've got the wheel off, break this castle nut loose, and slide this hub off. So I got the castle nut off. Hopefully it's maybe just these splines are so rusty. I mean, this thing is coated in rust. So maybe that's the issue. I'm not sure. Maybe that's why it was wobbling, because there's so much rust buildup. I'm going to clean this off, and then we'll see from there. Okay, so I was actually able to clean some of the rust with one of these wheels off of the spline and the nut and the hub a little bit. I'm going to do the hub a little more, and I just test fit the nut on, and it actually fixed that wobbly hub problem. I think there was rust getting in, like expanding and growing and making the hub loose. So doing that kind of tightened it up pretty good, but I'll add some grease whenever I put everything back together once I get this stuff figured out. I'm going to have to try to crack these nuts off, and I have no idea. It's going to be a pain in the ass because I don't think I have any wrenches big enough for that. I might let them soak overnight. I'm not sure. Okay, so I cannot get this nut loose. I marked it to try to make sure if I put it back on, to get it around the same spot, but I literally cannot get this thing loose. I had a giant crescent wrench here, or an adjusting wrench with a big breaker bar on there, and I don't have the right tools for this. So, and instead of trying to get it off, I'm trying to work this thing back and forth, which it's probably not even the issue, but I know there's a plunge, a bar, a rod that sits through here, and obviously when this goes up and when it comes down and the brake tightens and loosens, and I'm thinking that this bar is rusted because that seems to be a common issue, and I squirted some of this Schaefer stuff, whatever this stuff is again, this Pentro 90, and I'm just working it back and forth, and it's gotten a lot looser, but not loose enough that the spring can pull, doesn't automatically release, but it's almost there. So I'm wondering if I just keep working it and spray it over and over again. I mean, I couldn't do this before. So I think if I just let it soak, come back in 20 minutes, do it again, come back in 20 minutes, do it again, hopefully it fixes it, because I'm not sure what to do here. If you guys know, let me know down below, but I don't have the right tools for this, and it seems insanely hard to break loose. Doesn't look like we'll be doing the brakes, at least looking at the shoes and stuff. I still can look at the front brakes and the pads and stuff, and we'll make sure they're good before I get this thing, fully done and ready to sell. And I also do all the fluids, which I want to do this, because that looks like a new cap for that, which is odd. But nothing I mean, you see, it's almost, I'm barely putting any pressure there. Did you see that there? It's starting. So that's what I want. I just want to be able to pull higher, though, because the brakes are, they probably definitely need to be redone, but unfortunately I don't have the tools, like I've said 100 times already, to do that. So I'm just going to keep working this and keep doing this over time, and I'll bring you back if it works correctly. Okay, so as you can see, it bounces back. It actually only took like 10 minutes of me working this with this Pentro 90. So it actually, I really recommend this stuff. I do know it's expensive, but I mean, look at that. It seeped in. I just kept working it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it worked out enough where I think I'm not going to have any issues. Because even at full stop, all the way up, it comes right back. So I'm going to attach the brake lines back on and adjust them and make sure it actually worked. It's pretty obvious this hand brake is not right. Something's wrong with it. It's like the parking brake thing. It's not working. But the rear brake, it works pretty well. Helper, can you help me? Push down on the rear brake and let off. Push down, let off. It's working pretty good. I think we'll have decent results with this. I think I can actually lower it a little bit more so I don't have to tighten it up as much. And I'll be able to put all this stuff back on and then probably just get a new front handbrake cable and then call this section good. Okay, so the hub is back on and no movement whatsoever. Got the cotter pin on, the castle nut on with the cotter pin. Got some more grease on this axle, cleaned it out as best I can. Gonna throw the tire back on and call the rear brake done and this hub done. Now I need to just get a new brake cable and run that from the top, which always sucks, but when I get that part in, I will bring you guys back and show you how to do that. All right, so a couple things have came in. I did get the brake cable, so I'll probably be working on that in a little bit, but I just wanted to update you. I got a front bumper in. Thing looks slick. Probably going to take it off and repaint this actual metal bumper part along with these racks. Got a new seat in. I'll show you guys that in a minute. And got the rear tail light housing in. So it is new. So that looks nice and clean and obviously not broken. Put all that back together. Next, we're gonna replace this parking brake and rear brake from the front lever. That's all kinds of messed up, but we'll do that next. All right, so here is the new brake line or parking brake line. I've popped it off of here. It was pretty easy. You just kind of pull this out and it slips right out. And you had to take these two wires off. This is for the brake light in the back here. So just pop those out. Kind of bent a little bit. I actually spray painted this. I just got done. I just put those pieces of like paper underneath here and just hit it real quick with some flat black and then some matte black. I used a little grinding wheel and ground off most of the rusty stuff. It's not going to be perfect. I don't plan on it looking perfect. It's super windy today too. So it looks a lot better, obviously not being super rusty. So we're just going to leave it like that. I did add a bolt that I got from Honda right there. And I think, like I said, the next thing is just to pull this parking brake cable through here. It goes underneath right here, down through this little retainer down there, right there, bends down, comes out over here, comes through there, comes out right here, comes down, and comes out down there. So I think what I'll do is attach the new cable to this and just kind of slowly, attach the new cable to this and just kind of slowly pull it through like I did on the other one, and it should work out pretty good. So I'm going to try that. Okay, so there is an actual bolt underneath here. It's hard to see, holding this brake cable to the frame of the four-wheeler. So you're going to have to unbolt that, and I think I'll probably slide it up out here and go from there to pull it out and take off the little retaining clip and put it on the new one. Okay, so instead of pulling it through that way, I'm attaching the new one to right here because it's kind of a pain to pull it through there because you have this retaining clip that I had to put on. So I'm just gonna, and this is pretty loose, so I should be able to pull this new one right through there and up out of the top, and then obviously untape it. I just taped it with some electrical tape. So let me try to do that. And it came right through, no problem. So I'll just take this tape off. I think I'll probably fish this side through and connect it or at least run it through where it's supposed to go before I attach it up here. Okay, the brake cable is ran, everything is back on. I had to tighten it pretty tight. There's not a lot of movement forward and back in this thing. I mean, they're literally just, you can roll the foiler no problem. I think the rear brakes definitely need to be redone, but like I said before, I don't have the proper tools to take these axle nuts off. So, but the front brake works, squeezes, can't move this thing at all. Rear brake works. I think this thing is good to go. So we're probably going to call that good. Like I said, I spray painted that. I will be spray painting this. Front bumper's on. Looks pretty nice. I'm going to be taking this front bumper off again just to paint this front guard and obviously that front rust spot right there. And just put paper behind it. But that's going to be the end of this video. Back brakes are fixed. Foiler's looking good. All the new pieces are on. The new bolts are on. I just have to do the top end now. And I got the kit in, so we'll be working on that very shortly. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for sticking around. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. That's really going to be the end of the video. That's it. All right. See you guys. Have a good one.